don't praise people like Jason Blum for being cheap and making cheap garbage movies for the most part. I mean, I think that's an overstatement. Every single, like, it's a joke amongst movie critics that in like me, Cody Leach, that brand that's a little bit more genre side of things, every single year you'll have a couple of Blumhouse movies that are way up there on your best of the year, sometimes literally best of the year type quality films. And then you'll always have 2 or 3 that are worst of the year. But reducing Blumhouse to just cheap garbage, I think that's a terrible misrepresentation of what they're actually doing. They have too much cheap garbage, but it's not just that they're putting out cheap garbage, that they're putting out high concept movies and taking chances on unproven directors telling original stories. There's a lot in that to be very happy about. That's what more people need to be doing. But they're also infamous for these really crappy Blumhouse horror movies that aren't good, but they tend to do well enough because they're cheap to make, they're cheap to market, and they make decent enough money. But that's not all they do. They do more than that. And they put out dramas, they put out some action movies, they have other things that are really good, and they put out horror movies that are also really good. I would highly object to reducing Blumhouse to pure, they're just cheap, pure garbage. They're just Roger Corman with a new paint job or what. Like, I totally disagree with that synopsis. I would recommend that Jason Blum change some things, but there's a lot of things that he's doing that is great. They make some good stuff, to be fair, but they make some bad movies. I mean, yeah, I don't know all of exactly how it goes down, why it goes down, the exact nature of it. Reading a book that is about the box office summer of 1982, and it talks about how prior to Jaws, Star Wars, George Lucas, Steven Spielberg creating the modern day blockbuster, Hollywood worked by focusing on singles and doubles. We're not expecting home runs. We're not trying to manufacture home runs. We're just trying to get on base. And we're going to spend a conservative amount and expect conservative results. And so when something doesn't work, we only lose a little. And when we win, we only gain a little bit. There's not a lot that goes really bad. And there's not a ton of times that we have a gigantic victory. Modest zone, conservative treatment of budgets and expectations of box office. Then Jaws comes out and becomes the fastest movie to ever reach $100 million, highest grossing movie of all time. Then Star Wars comes out and way outperforms Jaws. And then Close Encounters comes out, and then we get Raiders of the Lost Ark, and then we get Empire Strikes Back, and then you start getting these bigger and bigger movies. And Hollywood starts wanting to no longer play the safe bet game. It's no longer, let's just try to get on base. Conservative budget, conservative expectations. Just first single, we're happy with it, really happy with a double. They started going, no, we want to get triples. No, we want home runs. And so they start more and more doing sequels, safer bets, bigger budgeted projects, and that's what this escalating version of that for the last 40 years. And really pretty well escalating dramatically over like the last 25 years, and even more so escalating in the Marvel era, to where the studios are in the game not even of home runs. At $300 million, that's a grand slam. Because it's not that you need your movie to make $500 million, which is a lot of money. That's a home run. You need your movie to make $1 billion to be profitable. That's a grand slam. There's only 55 movies that have ever made $1 billion in the history of cinema. And so many of those came from this hot streak in the last decade where box office was just overperforming. It was not normative or sustainable. But they started creating a strategy where we are not making singles and doubles anymore. We are swinging for the fences. With the bases full. Everything is on the line. We're going to win or lose this game based off if we can get a grand slam. And that's a really dangerous way to play baseball. That's a really frustrating way. So looping back around, in the middle of all of this, Disney gives every movie a $200 million budget. Everything is a home run. Everything is a grand slam level budget. And maybe Gladiator 2's got a budget of $300 million and Red One has a budget of $250 million. All of these big studios, Universal, Warner Brothers, they are swinging for the fences. And in the middle of it, you've got Blumhouse saying, we're just trying to get singles. We're going to take risks on new people and see what they can do. Not too many years ago, and one of the guys from Key and Peele, comedy show, decides he wants to direct a movie. Comedy guy. He wants to do like a horror thriller with social commentary. You really want to take a bet on one of the guys from Key and Peele making a socially aware horror film with a lot of racial stuff in it that could step on? Do you really want to do that? Well, Blumhouse was willing to do that. Yeah, here's some money. Jordan Peele, go make Get Out. He took the risk on that one. Paid off. And now you look back and you go, yeah, Jordan Peele, man, he's really interesting. We only know he's interesting because Blumhouse took a chance on him. It started somewhere. At some point in time, someone had to take a chance, and Blumhouse is taking those chances. And that's not what you're seeing from a lot of the other studios. It's indie thing over here, that micro budget, and then you get thrown in the franchise thing. Another example, going back 10 years. Some director has this weird idea for like a movie about a jazz drummer with a crazy teacher. That's a weird concept. This is Damien Chazelle. Who's this guy? Blumhouse says, I'll take a chance on this guy. Let's see what he can do. Takes a chance, puts out Whiplash. Fantastic film. Launches the career of Damien Chazelle. That's a Blumhouse movie where Blumhouse is going for the singles, taking chances on unproven talent. Unproven talent will put out crap from time to time, pretty regularly. Also, every big name at one point in time was unproven talent, and Blumhouse is creating that environment for that to take place. That's why I really like Blumhouse. Every single year, they're going to put out some of the worst movies of the year. It happens. How much of that is they're bad at picking scripts and developing scripts? How much of it is they're willing to take chances on unproven talent? I'm not sure, but I'm glad that we have a studio doing that. You can also have some other ones in A24, Neon. Other ones are doing this too. I think Blumhouse is the one that is the most mainstream of them, that's trying to put out more crowd-pleasing films. But I like that you have a studio. While everyone else is going for home runs, they're going for singles. What's an idea that's pretty high concept? You hear the pitch and you go, oh, okay, Killer Doll. Oh, okay. And there's a little pitch to it that hooks you a little bit, that it's easy to put out a trailer that sells you on a movie that you haven't heard of before. That's what really the Blumhouse model is, these high concept movies with modest budgets. I like that. But taking chances on unproven talent means you're going to discover some of the worst directors out there. You're also going to discover Damien Chazelle and Jordan Peele. Most of these clips are pulled from my Patreon live streams. I do about 6 live streams every single month. For $2 per month, $20 per year, you can get access to all the exclusive videos and live streams. For $5 per month, you get your name on my end card. At the top tier, you get a 30-minute video chat with me each month. The link down below in the description has more information.